So after months of planning, you finally convinced your significant other to let you do it. You finally booked your first Disney cruise. And you're thinking, I'm ready. Probably one of you, and I know you're out there, and it's probably you, are packed already 5 months before the cruise is even ready to go. And let me tell you right now, as exciting as that is, you're not even close to the beginning of getting this process started. So let's talk about one of the scariest parts about a Disney cruise, or any cruise, for example, check-in day. So we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about what you need on check-in day, process of check-in day, and then towards the end, I'm going to tell you what is the most nerve-wracking part about the check-in process on any cruise line, but on the Disney cruise lines, it could be a little bit more nerve-wracking. So first things first, when do you check in? So as a first-time cruiser, you will be checking in about 30 days before your embarkation day. Pearl guests will check in within 40 days of their embarkation day, and then working your way down all the way to silver, which is 33 days. So this is a process that you got to keep an eye on, because if you miss that little window when you check in, your embarkation time is not going to be the greatest you wanted. So now that you figured out your check-in time and your check-in window and the time you need to get up at midnight to get ready, and yes, you will have to get up at midnight to get your best port arrival time. A port arrival time is, of course, the time you're allowed to get on the ship. The earliest is usually 10:30, but those are mostly concierge, Pearl members, people that have pretty much lived on a Disney cruise. So make sure you try to get midnight, you get on, you do everything you need to do as quickly as possible, and we're about to go step by step as to what it is that you need and the steps that you need to take. First things first, and probably one thing you did already, is create a Disney Cruise Line account. You have to make sure you create that account and you link it to your Disney World account if you have one. Once you have those two accounts linked, all you have to do now is do the same for each guest in your stateroom. Each of them should have a Disney World account. Link them to that, and they'll be able to gain access to the Castaway membership. Once you have those linked up, make sure you also have your reservation number, which of course will be linked to your account, but always have it handy just in case. And you're also going to require a passport. Each person that is traveling in your party is going to need a passport or a birth certificate. There are other documentations out there that you may also use, but passport and the birth certificate is the most popular one. That's what everybody uses. A passport, all you do is you scan in your passport, and it has to be an image, JPEG. It won't take the Apple or a PDF file. It has to be a JPEG. Get the clearest picture you could possibly get of your passport. Every number needs to be clear. Your face needs to be clear. No flash, nothing. It has to be perfect. And again, and I can't emphasize this enough, make sure that you've taken a few pictures and you crop it as best you can on each person in your party. The next thing you're going to need is you're going to need a picture. Same style as the type of picture you would take for your passport, but one that you have separately so you can upload up to the app. The picture could be behind a white wall, a blue wall, or a light blue wall. And you can't have anything. You can't have sunglasses on. You can't have a hat on. You can't have anything on that will change the way you look. It has to be just you, your beautiful face. So make sure you have that picture set up for every single person, even a baby, because we just went through that check-in process, and our 9-month-old grandson, we had to figure out a way to get him to take a mugshot. And that wasn't the easiest thing in the world. So make sure that everyone in your party has that picture already ready to go and sent to you, because you only check in once, and the person that handles the stateroom is the person that will be checking in for everyone in that stateroom. Credit card, make sure you have one available during the check-in process, because it is going to ask you for a credit card for onboard purchases. You can then select if everyone in the room can use that same credit card, or you can select who has access to the credit card. The transportation details are pretty easy. It's going to ask you towards the end of your check-in process whether or not you're going to need transport from the hotel you're staying at, if you're driving in, if you're going to require parking, things like that. So have that information handy, which after all this planning, you'll definitely will. So here's a quick checklist of everything you're going to need right before that 12 a.m. check-in time. Now you're getting started. The first thing it's going to ask you to do is to enter the information to the main person in the stateroom, which is going to be probably you, because you're watching this video. So have your information ready. Make sure that when you put in the emergency contact, select every single person in your stateroom so that can be linked to that. Make sure that you also have all your security photo, because you're the first upload. Have all those ready, have them named, have them organized, because again, the faster you get this process going, the faster you'll finish and the better port arrival time you will be able to get. Make sure when you set up your onboard account, you link the credit card for all your purchases. That's part of that same process. And then that's when you select each individual person that you'll be assigning to that credit card. If you're going to give everybody the power, use your credit card. Towards the end, once you get everyone set up, and it asks you if anybody in your party's pregnant, if there's any females, or it'll ask you if there's any children, if you require certain things like a pack and play and things like that. Now you're checking in, and now you're making sure you're setting your arrival time. The earlier, the better. You get to spend more time on the ship, but sometimes later afternoon is always ideal, because you could just walk right onto the ship as everybody's already getting in, and everyone is always looking for that early arrival time. Once your check-in is complete, you'll start getting your emails with your confirmations. Right from the app itself, Disney Cruise Line app, you could download your passes and put them in your wallet, or you can get the passes emailed to you, and then you can just print them out from there with all your port documents, so you can take with you when you head to the port. Now, like I promised, let's get down to the most nerve-wracking portion of this entire check-in process, is getting your information finalized. Sometimes it could be a week before the cruise where they finalize your information. And by finalizing, I mean that they will take the information, they confirm that every human in that stateroom has the proper documentation, they have the proper photos, they have the proper everything. Credit cards are on file, everything is good to go. Once you get that notification via email, you are set. You are done. You can continue packing what you've probably already completed packing. And again, I see you. So now you're just sitting back, just waiting for Embarkation Day, which again, that's another story, and I'll hit you up with that one on the next one. For right now, I want to say thank you to everybody that has been watching. I appreciate every single one of you. When you get the opportunity, if you like this video, you found it informative, please hit that like and subscribe button. We truly appreciate it. We're on a road to 500 right now, and once we hit that 500, that Stitch popcorn bucket back there will be one of yours. We will be shipping it anywhere in the US, Canada, Mexico, wherever it needs to go. We'll be giving it to somebody. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. And again, thank you from all of us here at the Wandering Andinos, and we'll see you on the next one.